Greetings, everyone. This is Payman Lorenzo, your host of the Leaders Without podcast. Here, I have another special treat for you. My new good friend, Johan Snoek from the Netherlands, is is a world traveler, lived in many countries, and is also a successful copywriter. He has a big heart. Is all about helping people to make more, to give more, to have an impact, to ensure that the people that are building, that is helping, make as much as possible so they can have the biggest impact possible. So that's what we're going to be talking about. And we had a good conversation just before going live about traveling, about life. So what a fun conversation. And I'm happy to have connected with him and to bring you guys a fun conversation today as well. So John, welcome to the show, my friend.
Yeah, thank you. It's literally been an honor to be here.
Pleasure's
Really
all
nice to
mine,
meet
my
you.
friend. Pleasure all mine. So before we start, for people who don't know you, who's John?
Well, Johan, actually.
Oh,
so
yeah, okay.
I'm from the Netherlands. It's just basically genomic stuff. 26. There's not much to know there, but what I truly want to be know about is how I want to help more people. That's just one line. I want to help more people. So we go in business for multiple reasons,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of them, especially from my age, like in our 20s, we wanted to make more money, and obviously that's a good reason. But I don't, if I don't feel fulfilled with it, if there's no end goal for me, then I could just go back to a 9 to 5, because there's no
Mm-hmm.
point for me. If I have to work
Okay.
24/7 or really long days for no goal, then just give me a 9 to 5. That's why I want to help more people, because we don't have, the opportunity that we have is just something unique. And the people
Mm-hmm.
in Africa, we don't have the food, we don't have the clean water. They can't help it, but we can. And I want to change that.
I totally agree with that. We're going to talk about that in a moment, but first, let's talk about you, get to know you as a human being. So first, tell us, Johan, what makes you happy?
So happy. Well, at first, um, now the sun is shining, which is only doing like for 6 weeks in the Netherlands. So I'm really happy about that. But
Mhm.
just the positive smiles in my network, especially from my friends and family, that's what makes me happy.
Awesome. What makes you smile?
A good compliment, good food. That also.
Hmm. What's your favorite food?
Those sushi for sure,
Oh, yeah. Okay, cool.
for sure.
Awesome. What makes you come alive?
Extreme cold, literally. I mean, I hate cold showers, but it makes me feel alive. That's the one
Are,
thing.
are you a fan of that Dutchman? Was it called Wim? What, what's his name? I just forgot his name. That does this crazy things like he takes bath with ice.
No, that's literally like the next level. I just want a little bit colder, where I'm literally going screaming out of the shower and think, okay, never again. But every day I do it again.
How long have you been doing that?
I think 9 months now. Yeah, about 9 months.
So do you do it even in the cold winter mornings?
Well, my home is pretty warm every day, so yes, I can
Okay.
still do it in the morning, in the winter.
Okay. Awesome. Now, what makes you sad and angry?
When um, when everything not is not going towards plan. That's some. If you have all these roadblocks every single day, that what
Mhm.
makes me angry, because it's not something. It's something that we as entrepreneurs always face,
Mhm.
but it's the constant overcoming the objection that I
Mhm.
hate, and that makes me angry.
What scares you?
Spiders, for sure.
Are there lots of
And
spiders around you?
well, luckily actually live in I don't know the English word for it, but it's like a boat on water. It's like a living boat,
Really?
and so
Wow,
so
that's
so there's
amazing.
almost no spiders. That's
You
one
live on a
good thing.
boat. That's so awesome.
Yeah, but it's just like a normal room. You have normal doors. You don't see from the
So,
inside. You don't see the difference, but when you go outside, you literally are surrounded with water.
is that a boat that is permanently stationed in one spot, or can you
Yes,
travel around with it?
no, it's stationed with 4 pillars.
Oh, oh,
That's too bad.
that's the next level, I guess. That's like a training, you know. That's awesome. Wow. I didn't know that you could live in those boats. Wow.
Well, they're extra expensive, and the
Really?
insurance even extra expensive. Yes. So we're probably going to move in the next year or two.
So when there is, I don't know if there is any, if that's an issue sometimes when you have, storms and the water
Mhm.
becomes,
You know, the
turbulent.
boat
Does
does,
it?
yeah, it does rise, but you don't feel it. So
Okay.
whenever
Like,
there's a storm, it's not going this. No, not
oh,
at all.
okay. Okay.
But the funny thing is, when it's really warm outside and I want to sleep, I can just go outside, throw some ice cubes in the water, and then I can go to sleep because the water cools down.
Oh, really?
But
Wow.
yeah, if the water is more cool, then I can just literally, if it's outside like 30 degrees, I can just go to sleep under my big blanket.
And
That's one of the benefits.
is the water by your boat clean enough that you can, in hot days, just jump in and
We
swim in it?
can jump in, but it's not clear enough that you can see much.
Okay, I see. Okay.
Yeah,
Now, wow,
and there are
that's
fish,
amazing.
so
That would be an incredible story to tell, like on a YouTube channel or a
mhm.
podcast, live on a boat. You know, that's amazing. Wow, that's the coolest story I've heard so far. Wow, that's amazing.
Well, for I've been living 2 years here now, so for me it's now like the normal stuff. If I go to a normal house, it's like, oh wait, we don't have water here.
Yeah, you're not gonna throw some ice outside.
How
Are
do
you
we cool
interested?
this thing?
Yeah. Do you have interest in boating? Do you have a plan of getting a boat in the future so you can
Well, I
travel
think
on it?
3 years ago, I designed my own huge boat that had like an
Wow.
aquarium inside it. So when I was I like carp fishing, and if I catch something, I could just throw it inside the aquarium where I can sit and eat, looking at my caught fish.
That's amazing. Wow. Wow, that's
But
amazing. That's
if
awesome.
if you think about it, you have to get you have to buy build this boat at least for I think 30 million, because it's mostly like the super yacht that you're trying to
Oh
build,
yeah.
and the aquarium you have to clean it.
Hmm.
You're basically living for your aquarium then.
Yeah, that's for sure. Wow. That's incredible. When you do buy a boat or when you do start a YouTube channel on boating, let me know. I will be your first subscriber. You know.
Okay, then we have one. I mean, if you can inspire only one person, we're doing good.
Exactly. Hey, you can travel around the world, going from village to village, island to island. If you get a boat, I might jump in with you and join you. I'm not kidding. Because I've always been, I'm an adventurer. I love getting a boat
Mhm.
and good friends and just traveling. Yeah. And making a
That's
difference
awesome.
together. Yeah. So tell me now, what's your personal superpower?
My personal superpower. Oh,
Other than
that's a
throwing
good
ice in the
one.
water?
um, I would probably say I'm as clumsy as it can be. One night, I was drinking a beer with a friend of mine. It was the first beer I had, and usually I'm really good with alcohol. My body can stomach it,
Mhm.
but um, I knocked over my glass 3 times in a row. That's the moment where I
Congratulations.
just yeah. That's the moment I decided, okay, I'm going home. This is not my day. But it's also because I talk like a lot with my hands, and yeah, it happens.
Do you have an Italian background?
No, no, I used to in my previous day job, I did a lot of stuff for Italy. So
Hmm.
we shipped all the fish, frozen to them, but except for that, nothing.
Okay. Yeah,
But
because
now
you're Italian.
now I have like a 2 liter bottle, so can knock it over.
Okay, yeah, be careful. At least don't try to do it while we have the podcast. After, feel free. All right, cool. Now, let me now ask you some fun questions of when you were a kid growing up. When we were in primary school and middle school growing up, everybody asks us, parents, teachers, family, so Johan, what do you want to become when you grow up? What was your answer back then?
Spider Man, Spider Man.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it was something I grew up with, and actually, I think it was like almost 2 years ago. I had a party with from a friend of mine with the theme, "What do you want to become later?" So I bought the Spider-Man suit, and literally, hanging on the ceiling all night,
So
just because I liked it.
you were wearing the Spider-Man suit and hanging from the ceiling.
Hmm.
How did you get to the ceiling?
Well, it's more like a ledge where you can just hang.
Oh,
But
didn't get tired.
yeah, a little. But the problem is with the mask on, you couldn't see much through the eyes,
Mm.
and a lot of people didn't know who I was at the moment when they haven't seen my face yet. So I was literally going like this, just walking and maybe
Wow,
not, touching people.
that would be an amazing costume for Halloween. You know,
Hmm.
it's coming soon.
Yeah, it was an amazing night.
So let me get this straight. You mentioned two things that are funny. You said you're scared of spiders, and yet you wanted to be a Spider-Man.
Yes.
So what's
The
what's the
logic.
matter with that? I know.
Even if the superpower exists, I will never become Spider-Man because I'm scared of it.
Ah,
But
maybe.
in the first Spider-Man movie, he doesn't see the spider, so it's
Okay.
maybe.
Maybe you can be Spider-Man in the next lifetime. You know.
Hmm. Maybe, or
All
I
right.
just have to overcome the fear. But I
Mhm.
see myself more likely become Spider-Man than become that.
Yeah.
Overcome my problem.
Yeah. Awesome. Now, when you were a kid in school, what was your favorite subject?
Video games. Somehow, I
Wait
really
a
love
second.
video.
They teach you video games in schools in the Netherlands?
Well, I really started early with the Game Boy Color and the
Mm-hmm.
all the
Mm-hmm.
old games stuff. That's something that I grew up with. So it's
Yeah.
always about video games.
But in school, what subject was the one that you liked the most?
Hmm.
Sports?
Now, I hate to say it, but I was never the sports guy.
Really? Wow.
Um, it will probably be
Math,
reading.
languages,
Uh,
reading.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, reading and languages. That's also a good one.
Okay. And what was your least favorite subject?
Math, every
Oh,
single
numbers
time.
guy. You're not a
No,
numbers guy, yeah? Okay. Me too.
I mean, I try to be, and every time I do something, to make my math better and with all the numbers and remembering them. But it's not my thing. I'm
Yeah, it's
more
boring.
of a language guy than a math guy.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. So now let's move forward. Looking at your path
Mhm.
from the moment you left school to now, how would you describe your path? Would you say your path was once you get into one line, it was straight sailing, smooth forward all the way? Was it like turns and twists, turns and
Mhm.
twists? So how would you describe your path so far?
From school to now.
Yes.
Uh, yeah, it didn't go in one straight line. I mean,
Hmm.
um, I graduated well, for like the American term, it will be university,
Hmm.
and I after a week I already got my job. So I went straight for it. Was logistic supervisor. It was everything I wanted to be, but I didn't. Everything I learned at school, I never applied in the real world. It was totally different place.
Hmm.
So I hated it. I hated my colleagues. So pretty much I stopped, and um, I learned about copywriting, and that's exactly what I did. But usually, especially now when I see a lot of I have a lot of copywriters in my network, and I see them succeed like in 4 to 6 months. I didn't even talk to one single client in the first year and a half because I just wanted to upgrade my skills. I want to become better. In the end, it served me, but sometimes you just want the quick results.
We're gonna talk about copywriting in a moment, but
Hmm.
I'm sure you heard the saying that says, "Change your story, change your life." And by story, I mean what we keep on telling ourselves on a daily basis in our
Hmm.
mind. This conversation inside. Oh, you're not good enough. You can't do that. Whatever, and all this kind of crazy things we say to each other, to ourselves. So when
Hmm.
you had to change your story to change your life, how did you do it? Did you do it through the help of friends, family, mentors, videos? Tell us how you did it. How did you change your story to either change your life or bring your life to where you want it to be?
Hmm. A lot, yeah, a lot of things. Yeah, that really changed my life. But the thing is, it's just something that I can't deny. I
Mhm.
have always been different than my friends. It's always something that I had like a unique personality trait that you wouldn't see in almost someone else, but you could see it in me. And when I started this entrepreneurial journey, my friend said, "You've always been different, so now I can see that you're
Mhm.
going to be good at this." And that's something that I kept in the back of my head. And every time I remembered it, it motivated me. And I think that's really changed my story because of the instead of the weird, different kid to the entrepreneur.
That's awesome. Wow. Now, tell us about your business. You said you're copywriting. How did you get into copywriting?
I actually wanted, well, it all started when wanted me to write a book, but I
Oh,
wanted to write the
wow.
next Lord of the Rings.
Oh, wow.
It's not gonna happen.
Well,
Uh,
don't say that. You never know. You don't say that.
well,
Maybe not
well,
now. Maybe in a few years. You never know.
at that time I wasn't the confident guy I may be now, but
Mhm.
I just thought, okay, I want to do something writing, but you know, writing the next Harry Potter of the Lord of the Rings is not going to work for me. So then I found copywriting. Literally, I went to Bali, and at the moment the plane took off, I thought, okay, I need to find something where I can do this more often, where I can travel more often, because I just
Mhm.
love the rush of the plane. And then,
Sure.
like a week or 2 weeks later, I was introduced to copywriting. So that was the wake up call for me. And as someone who wanted to write, and I can make money with it, and copywriting is a really essential
Sure.
skill in business, why not? So that's why
Mhm.
I chose it.
So when you first started, what did you do? Did you take a course? Did you read books? Did
Mhm.
you talk to people? Tell us how you started learning and getting into copywriting.
The first thing was literally applying to a course, and it's more like a beta. It was the very first course from
Mhm.
Jason Capital. It wasn't released to the public. It was just you could apply
Mhm.
it, and at some point he told us that 800 people applied and only 30 will be accepted.
Mhm.
Well, in the end, 50 people were accepted with me in it, and I was literally
Awesome.
dedicated to every time Monday evening. It was at 11 p.m. I had to log in, get on the call with so many people in the class. But I showed up every single time. I talked to them. I did the exercises, and after the course, the Dave Raybold, the guy who was on the coaching call, came to me and he was actually waiting for me to say yes to his one-on-one program. He wanted me. So if someone else came who wasn't dedicated as I was, he would say no. But he just wanted me to get on his one-on-one program. But he was really, really expensive. And for a guy that only makes like 200 of 2,000 euros and had to pay 700 of it only to him every single month,
Oh,
it's just too
wow.
much.
700 a month. Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
But then again, you get the insider information that not everyone has.
Mhm.
You have like this hour of asking all the questions that you ever wanted to ask.
So you said
I thought it
once you
was
got,
valuable.
so you said once you get into copywriting for a year and a half, you didn't talk to a client. Why?
Well, it
You didn't feel
because,
comfortable
no,
or?
I didn't feel comfortable because
Mm.
I thought my English was really good,
Mhm.
but he said, okay, I see a few flaws, so that's
Mhm.
something that made it harder for me to
Mhm.
get started.
So did you, that could, what we may think as a weakness can be an asset. Like you, for
Mm-hmm.
example, English may not be your native
Mm-hmm.
language, but you come from a country that your
Mm-hmm.
copywriting skills can be very useful in the Netherlands market and the Dutch market. Are you targeting the Dutch businesses in Dutch in some way? Because
Well,
I,
they
I,
do.
I would imagine that the Dutch market is a lot less competitive than the English market,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Well, I have two things to say about that.
Mhm,
I do have an advantage than other people
mhm,
because copywriting is really talking in a way, the simple words, just how to
mhm.
have a normal conversation.
Sure.
So that's my advantage from someone who comes from university and had to write always with all those big words and
Mhm,
had to do with a total different thing. And I'm not targeting the Dutch market right now because it wasn't too big. There wasn't as much clients as I wanted, and
mhm.
I just felt like if I can do it international, that's just way
Sure.
better.
Mhm,
But recently, I've been thinking about creating a program and doing all and teaching the copywriting stuff, or even DM closing to the Dutch market. But that's something on the far line, and I think somewhere in the near future I might release that.
yeah. Even though the Dutch market might be small, comparatively speaking, it's still
Hmm.
big enough to keep you happy and busy for the rest of your life, especially if you specialize in a specific field, either say finance, medicine, law, retail, whatever. Just pick a
Hmm.
niche that you're familiar, become an expert at it, and you become the go-to guy for the Dutch market for that, in copywriting.
Hmm.
You can become really someone very influential and powerful to become the go-to guy and become the number one copywriters in Holland, for example. That would be something that
Hmm.
is going to make you more money than you
Hmm.
will ever need and keep you busy, and look into that more carefully. I mean, maybe now you just want to build a business can allow you to travel, but you have this amazing, opportunity in front of you. Sometimes we take the most opportunities that are very obvious, that are big, we
Hmm.
take it for granted because for us it's nothing special. But you need someone that is unbiased to tell you, hey, buddy, you're sitting on a gold mine,
Hmm.
and that happens to me all the time. Things that I take for granted, but people tell me, hey, stop chasing your tail, stop chasing after the rainbow. Look, sometimes the treasure is right in front of your nose, so
Hmm.
to speak.
Yeah, exactly. And I've been talking to a really great friend of mine, also a Dutch guy, but he lives
Hmm.
in Portugal,
Hmm.
where we were discussing this plan. I can do this. I can create this coaching business for them that can really dominate the Dutch market. So it's on my map. I'm thinking about it,
Yeah,
but it takes a lot of time to really structure the coaching
sure.
business and creating from A to Z.
So how
But
was
sure.
how did you make the transition from what allowed you to feel confident in yourself after a year and a half of not talking to your client to say enough of it? I'm gonna start talking to clients. I'm gonna start charging them. What pushed you to make that move?
Well, um, when you have a 9 to 5 and then you have to
Hmm.
learn about copywriting, you're almost doing it every single night,
Hmm.
then you don't have, you have to make priorities. So if your friend
Sure,
comes, hey, want to go do something fun? Okay, one night you can, but the second night you have to think about it.
sure.
Hey, maybe I should do something else. And it took so long for me that I thought, you know what, I don't want anymore. Now I'm going for clients. Now I want to work and make it something full time, or at least make money from it. Because I was investing so much money in my business, and you're not seeing any of it. Like the first client was like $100.
Hmm.
It's something, but it's not getting you there, especially when you put in like 50 hours.
Sure.
So you're literally paying yourself $5 an hour.
Sure, absolutely. One of the major challenges that we all face, everyone that's trying to sell the services, and that is imposter syndrome.
Hmm.
What did you do yourself, Johan, to overcome this imposter syndrome, even though you knew deep down that you're good enough, that you have
Hmm.
all the skills and knowledge to help the client, but something in the back of your mind is telling you, maybe I'm not ready yet. So
Hmm.
what allowed you to overcome this?
I started working for free, actually.
Mm,
Well, the first thing I actually did, and many people don't like this, and I'm one of them, was cold email. So literally
mhm,
cold emailing people, and the first pitch I did was just, I want to give you 7 days of free copywriting service.
mhm,
Well, usually, they come up with, hey, I need a few emails written. So I wrote them in like 5 hours, maybe even faster, and then they still have the rest of the 7 days, but ask me, okay, can you write the sales page for me? Can you do this? Even I wouldn't say no because you have 7 days of free. But the results that I got them for them, that made a difference. Okay, now it seems I'm pretty good. I can deliver the results. And that kind of made the imposter syndrome go away. But still, sometimes, you're trying to guarantee results. And you know, when you're not getting the result that you wanted, then you're feeling the imposter syndrome again. But it happens.
So how long have you been a copywriter now?
We're almost at 3 years, actually. I
Okay.
think last month we passed the 1,000 days.
Awesome. Awesome. So now that you've been in this game for 3 years, and now that you're able to command much higher prices than $100, do you still sometimes get when let's say you send a pitch to a client, let's say for whatever amount of money, and do you still get to the back of your mind this imposter syndrome sometimes?
Yeah. So I had this one client, and she basically wanted me to write the whole funnel and the ads for it. Well, sure, no problem. And then I came up with the price, and I was like, I can't charge this. This is way too much. And then I just had to say it to a friend of mine. Hey, I can't charge it. This is too much. You're going to charge. This is what you're doing. Even if you lose a client, you're going to charge it.
Yes.
And she basically just when I set the price, I was quiet, and she said, "Okay." And that's what you're worrying about.
And how did you feel when she said yes? Do you say, "Oh my God, was it a game changer for you?"
Yeah, they don't even care about the extra $1,000. It's just give me the results, give me the work.
Exactly.
Fine.
Exactly. I mean, that's the point. If you can make someone 20,000, an extra 20,000, if you're charging that, they would not mind paying you 10,000 because it's an end result. Absolutely. Now, what would you say is your ideal client?
To put a name on it, it's just
Do you have an avatar?
literally like.
Do you have an avatar, specific avatar currently?
It's the male 7-figure business coach. That's pretty much it.
Okay.
I mean, all of them have kids. All of them, are a dad. And I don't even mind if it's a female. I mean, there's literally no difference for me. But you have to create an avatar. And I thought, okay, you know what? I'm picking a male. But maybe in 2021, maybe you can even put it genderless. At this moment,
Now, tell us about an example of the most remarkable transformation you've created for a client of yours.
It was actually one of the first clients I got. They were already big, but it was the start of the pandemic, and it was like the switch making to it. So I onboarded. I was writing the emails. At first, we were doing like it was about $200,000 a month. Was already doing great, and then out of the week, the pandemic came. I adapted to it. They wanted to learn it was a guitar instructor. They all wanted to learn the guitar, and within a week we went from 200 to 270 $280,000 a month.
That's amazing.
It was just nuts. All these sales came in, and I was like, oh, this is good. This is literally like the opportunity that we have right now, and we have to adapt to it.
That is amazing. Wow. What would you say is do you have a team around you, or you just work by yourself?
I'm mostly myself, but I have my network that can help me whenever I needed them. It's more like it's more like outsourcing the service. Sometimes they need my service, then I give it to them. Sometimes I just they have something like Facebook ads, I can outsource it to them.
Sure. When it comes to copywriting, do you do it yourself or do you outsource that?
Everything I do myself. It's just the way I like it, and that's the reason why I actually went into this business. If I want to outsource it, there will be a lot of better things to do. But I fell in love with copywriting, So that's what I want to do all day.
So do you specialize in any specific thing where it's say sales funnels, video sales letters, email marketing, or do you do anything that's copywriting related?
I specialize in email marketing, but
Okay.
for the same client, that I write daily emails for, if they need a sales page or like a VSL, then I
Mhm.
just write it with them because I'm already familiarized with the audience. So I'm the best bet to write the VSL.
Mhm.
But if I have to pitch my service, then I would also always go for email marketing.
That's awesome. Um, okay. Do you have do you have an offer structure for someone that's interested in what you have to offer right now, or is there just so what I'm saying is what's the process? You get on a discovery call
Mm-hmm.
with them and then you onboard them.
Mm-hmm.
And tell us about the process of someone that's listening right now that's interested in say copywriting emails. What is
Mm-hmm.
the process to get on board with you?
Well, the first thing I have to know, where are they right now in the entrepreneurial journey?
Mm-hmm.
Because if they're just starting, they don't have an email list. So I can't work with someone who has only 50 people on their list. So first we have to look at the list. How big is it? And then I'm going to look at how many emails have they been sending right now. So if it's only like 1 week, like one email a week, and then suddenly they want to go for 7 emails,
Mm-hmm.
well, I have some bad news because that's the reason why many people go into the promotional folder, because suddenly they start sending out all these emails and that's not working. So um, recently I had a call with someone. He was sending out 4 emails a week and he wanted to go to 7. So what I'm doing is I create this on the call. I create a strategy. Okay, this month we're going for 5 emails, and then maybe the next month or the month after that we're going to 6 and then 7. Just build it up so
Mm-hmm.
your audience is adapting to it and the filter is
Sure.
not picking you out of it,
Mm-hmm.
and slowly making that. But my usually my offer and my price structure is based on how many emails do you want to send out each week.
That's a good strategy. Yeah, because I want to change right away and make and flood them. Yes. Now,
Mm-hmm.
how many hours per week, sorry, per day would you say you're working on your business? Are you living the dream 4 hour work week?
No, 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 no. The 4 hour work week sounds really good, but it's not. For me, it's not doable because then I have to outsource everything. Where I have
Mm-hmm.
to outsource also being the business owner. So I have to be out of the picture and just outsource the business, being the business owner.
Mm-hmm.
But usually I write copy for 3-4 hours a day. Really, when I just feel the creativity is not there anymore, and then I just work on my business, like or work at my business, where I try how can I make this better? Where can I get my next client, or you know
Mm-hmm.
to do all the stuff behind it, getting on podcasts and stuff.
So would you say that for someone that's either started their business or looking to start a business, is it feasible? Is it realistic to reach the 4 hour work week? Or is that just a myth or a dream? Only something you can reach maybe years down the road.
It's a good if it motivates you to really have like the 4 hour work week, then sure. But I will prepare them to be disappointed for a really long time.
Because even Tim Ferriss, he mentions that even himself, at first he was working 16, 20 hours days
Mm-hmm.
to get things going. And maybe after a few years, he was able to reach that. So for you, Johan, do you have a goal to reach a 4 hour work week? And if yes, well, then how long do you want to reach that goal? That you can only work on your business for 4 hours a week?
Hmm. Well, um, that goal is probably years away from now. But if
Mm-hmm.
I will go for it, then it will be the coaching business that we just discussed. I will create that as a 4 hour work week.
Mm-hmm. Now, let me ask you a question now.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine that you were to lose everything. You only have, say, $1,000 in your account, and you have 30 days for you to bounce back. You have a roof over your head, a place to sleep, and some basic food, and you have 1 month. What would you do? You have no contacts,
Mhm.
no business. All you have is just your knowledge. What would you do? What would you do to get back on your feet? And you only have 30 days and $1,000.
I would literally, yeah, if I had to do it in 30 days, I would probably go back to the cold emails and just send out so many. That's such crazy. Just working 16 hours a day, and then after 30 days, and you get at least one client, then you're finished. Then you just can stay with a roof on your head.
Beautiful, beautiful. Now you said you
But that's
traveled.
that's more like the quick results. But if you want to go
Mhm.
long term, then yeah, it's better to have like build your network, build everything around it. Because if you lose that one client, then you're again at the same position.
Now, awesome. Now, for someone that's looking to start their business, now they may be in corporate or they may not be, unemployed right now, but they want to start a business. Copywriting. What would you say copywriting is good for? Is it something that anyone can do? Do you need to have some special existing qualities and abilities and skills to be a good copywriter?
Mostly, it's just understanding the human brain and all
Hmm.
the psychology behind it. You know
Hmm.
what makes you stick, what really inspires curiosity.
Hmm.
But what I would do if I didn't have the money to, to learn copywriting, we should go to a really great business owners, get on their email list, and just read their emails. Why is it so good?
Hmm.
And if you keep reading that, and afterwards you can even handwrite it if that's better, and then write some of your own. But
Hmm.
usually what I see is like they write a few emails and then they ask, how can I get better? Well, if you think, if you've written like 10 emails now, and do you think you will better if you wrote 100 emails?
Sure.
Yeah, for sure. So why don't you do that? Write
Hmm.
100 emails. So I can write one in 30 minutes. So 100 emails is not that much in a month. So they just have to do all the practice, all the reading. Then for sure, within a few months, they're there. That's
Awesome.
pretty much it.
Now, what is your USP? What makes you different? Let's say, for example, someone is listening, looking for a copywriter. Why should
Mhm.
they choose you? What makes you better than all the rest? What makes you sets you apart? What's your USP basically?
Well, um, it's my guarantee. I
Mm.
never seen a copywriter come up with a 30-day guarantee, and that's what I'm offering.
What's your guarantee? Tell us more.
So if they don't make at least 3 times as much as they're paying me, so if we send emails and they don't make $6,000 from their email list, then within 30 days they just get the money back. If I don't
Okay.
get them in the if they're in the promotional folder, but I don't get them out of the promotional folder, they also get the money back
Hmm.
because then I didn't deliver my service.
Have you ever had to refund anyone so far?
No, I hate to
Good.
say it actually. I hate to say it actually because to make it more believable, I want to say yes, I refunded one, but I can't. I'm lying.
That's amazing. That's awesome. Yeah. Wow. All right. Now let's move forward. Now talk about the theme of this podcast is building impactful businesses. Like as I told
Mhm.
you before going live, for me, I'm an e-commerce guy launching a product soon on Kickstarter, and for each 3 units we sell, we'll be sponsoring a year of education for a child in India. We're basically taking kids from the streets and putting them in schools, giving them a
Mhm.
chance at a normal education. It's about building a business with an impact. What would you say, Johan? What is a cause that is dear to your heart, and what kind of impact do you want to build and have with your business?
Well, just like before, I told before, like we have the opportunity, like we can have clean water, we can have all the food we want, yeah, and the people in Africa don't have that opportunity. I just could go to school, don't even worry about the money. We could just go to school, and like it's a natural thing for me. If
Like,
it's even weird for me to think that I don't have it. And in Africa, it's not like that. So I want to give my opportunity that I have. I want to help them to get all the clean water, the food, and they have to get, especially the children, they have to be pulled out of school and walk miles on miles, for not even clean water. And because they have to get pulled out of school, they don't have the opportunity to get education, have a normal life, get a good job, learn all those stuff. So they're not even have clean water, and they don't have an education. And for like 80 to $100, you can give someone clean water for life, so they can stay in school and have clean water, have a longer life because it's way more healthy, and they can do the stuff that they always wanted. And if I can help someone for just $80, I will be crazy not to.
That's amazing.
That's just, yeah. For me, it's common sense, but everyone is different.
Yeah, I agree. Totally agree with you. Are you already doing that in your business?
I'm not yet where I like to be. I mean, especially I would like to be like at $20,000 a month and just spend $5,000 every month. But for now, every time I have money left, so I think we're at $3,000 now that I spent. So I help 30 people right now getting the clean water and doing all that stuff.
That's amazing. I love that. Thank you for that. Now, let me ask you now some fun questions. Imagine you have a time machine and you can go back and sit with your 18-year-old self. What would be the first piece of advice you would give to the 18-year-old Johan, knowing all that you know now? The number one piece of advice.
Oh, that's a good one. There are tons of stuff. I mean, I probably would say that being shy is an option, not who you are.
Love that.
But that is such a question that you want to say so many things, because I've been in a narcissistic relationship, and I could say, don't do that, or start your business earlier, or do that one thing you always wanted to do. But I would think being shy is just an option, a choice that you have, not who you truly are.
I agree. Were you shy before?
Yes, yeah, really.
Same here. Same here. Painfully shy. Yes. So what did you do to overcome your shyness?
It's actually a really funny story, because my family is more like known in our village. My family is known for like being the madman. I think that's the closest relationship translation to it. And it's all coming from my father, but I can feel that I would like to say white hot rage, but it's not even that. It just, I think it's a confidence hidden as rage inside me that I can just feel. And whenever I had to do something, I would use that power. Maybe that's my superpower, but I would use that power to do the stuff that I need. And then afterwards, I would just crawl in the corner like, oh, I did this. I'm too shy for that. But at that moment, I did it. And if I just did it enough times, that I will get over it. I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah. Now, what was the best piece of advice you've received so far?
If you work for some time that like others won't, then someday you can live like others can't.
Love that.
That's the one on top of my head.
And what's the worst piece of advice you've received so far?
Oh, do you have a minute?
I can give you 2 minutes. Yeah, absolutely.
What's the worst piece of advice? I've got so many.
What's the first that comes to mind?
Well, the first thing that actually come to mind is my brother. He used to be in a 10-year relationship, 5-year relationship, 5 years of marriage. She left him from someone else, and really quickly after, he got another one. And now I found a new girl, and the thing he said to me is like, don't start, don't start too quick, do all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But that was the one he married was like the first girlfriend he ever had. So now he's with his second one, and I hate to say it, but I've had my fair share of women. So
Good
so
job.
who are you? And I thought, okay, why do you tell me that? Because you're not in a position to tell me that. I know I have more experience. So that I think that was really, really bad advice. I mean, the advice itself wasn't that bad, but the guy I was coming from, it was just
Yeah.
wasn't good.
Okay. Awesome. Now, do you have your own podcast?
I'm actually I wanted to start it, but
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to start actually this week, but the clients has been crazy. Like one had wanted to get his email sequence on, and I've been working an active campaign for him for 5 hours
Mm-hmm.
just because
Wow.
there were so many things to change.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't have the time for it anymore.
Mm.
So
I
I'm
see.
building on it.
So time is the reason. Okay. Now
Mhm.
imagine that you have your podcast very successful, and today you have the most special guest in the world, which is yourself. You're interviewing
Mhm.
yourself. What's the first question you want to ask yourself? The first question. I don't want you to think too much. What is the first question that comes to your mind that you want to
How do
ask
you
yourself?
how do you feel? I
What's your
think
answer?
well, if I have like this super successful podcast, which also means
Mhm.
that you have a very successful business, then I should feel great. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's uh, you never know what's really behind in their
Hmm.
heart, because you can have the most successful business, but if you are alone or just got divorced, then
Mm,
it's all in vain.
absolutely. Yeah. One question I'd like to ask, one of my favorite questions to ask is, what's the smallest thing you've done so far that has had the biggest impact, the biggest positive impact on your life? I'll give you an example for me, myself. The smallest thing I've done that has had the biggest impact has been starting this podcast because it connected me with
Mhm.
so many incredible people. It connected me with my current business partner, with tremendous connection and contacts. So for you, what would you say has been so far the smallest thing you've done that has had the biggest impact, the biggest positive impact on both your life and your business?
Oh, that's a really good question.
Thank you.
Um, hmm. Wow. Yeah, we do so many things in the day that I can't. I can't.
Would you say for you it was starting your business, getting into copywriting?
Yeah,
Is
it
that
will
part?
probably if okay. So if I had something that my when I went to Bali with my brother, it was actually to
Mhm.
say yes to my brother, because it was the second trip together, and the first one I didn't like, because he's like in this constant negative state. So it
Oh
was
wow.
really like it's not good to go on a holiday with him. But he asked
Sure.
me, I wanted to go on vacation. I was really feeling like it, and he asked me, and I said yes. So if I didn't do that, I wouldn't start my business. So I think that's it.
Mhm. Awesome. And I would highly, highly recommend you start your podcast as soon as possible because it has
Mhm.
incredible, incredible benefits, especially for you as a copywriter. It's a
Mhm.
game changer. I will share after this call, I will share with you an example of a guy that built an 8-figure business with zero ad spent, only using the power of podcasting.
That's awesome.
Absolutely mind blowing, mind blowing. I will share that to you after this call.
Mhm.
But let me see. All right. So, do you have any? Do you have any last minute words of wisdom to anyone watching, listening, that are looking to get into either copywriting or anything? Any tips?
I would probably say always trust your gut. I think that's one of the biggest lessons that I learned. If it feels good, then just do it,
Mm-hmm.
because haters are always going to be there. There's always people that will talk you out of it,
Mm-hmm.
and um, and if you talk too long with those people, eventually you're not going to do it anymore. So it's better to do it, because what's the biggest thing that can happen? You're not going to die.
That's exactly it, and that's something that Tim Ferriss, emphasizes very strongly on that is whenever you're looking to do something, it comes down to the power of asking the right questions. And the question
Mm-hmm.
is, what is the worst case scenario? So let's say you want to start a business or do something, write it down, the pros and cons. And we'll see if the cons are only for you, maybe so-called wasting a month or two, maybe losing $2,000-3,000, and at worst getting a job or moving in with your parents or moving in with, say, with roommates. If that's the worst, then you have nothing to be worried about, because for us, we're blessed to live in the Western world. We don't have to be concerned about what we're going to eat tonight, where we're going to sleep tonight. We don't, that's already taken care of, because we're blessed to be in a place that it's not like we live in India or on Africa or in places, say in Afghanistan or Palestine or places like that, So
Mm-hmm.
if the worst for you is just maybe 1 or 2 months lost, maybe a few $1,000s lost, and even if you were to lose money and lose some money, don't look at it as a loss. Look at it as an education, because what is knowledge? Knowledge is not knowing what to do, but most importantly, knowing what not to do,
Mm-hmm. And yeah, exactly. Like
So,
what I like to do is I like to watch a lot of people and what they're doing right now, and usually they make choices where I already know, okay, this is not going to work out, this is not what you should have done, but they are an example for me. Okay, this is something I shouldn't do, so that's my lesson out of it, a free lesson.
absolutely.
Like, okay, avoid this, do this instead.
Yeah. And if you look at it, I don't know how does the university and college works in Holland, but here in Canada and the US, it's very expensive. You have to pay for it. So even a
Mm-hmm.
simple bachelor's degree, at least in Toronto, which is a lot less expensive than the US, you would pay at least $5,000 to $10,000 per semester. So imagine if, in comparison, you were to take, say, $2,000-3,000 to start a business. That's way cheaper, but it can have a potential to allow you to learn a skill that can change your life forever for the better.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, so mostly it's been a lot cheaper here because I studied for 4.5 years, and I think it only cost me like 5,000 at tops.
for the
Tops.
entire degree,
Yes, and I got 3 degrees
holy
because it
smoke!
it was like I did logistics. So first I started
Uh-huh.
with logistics, like a normal worker, team leader, and then supervisor.
Whoa.
And I could even go further, but I was already pretty much done.
Yeah, that's awesome. Now, listen, Johan, we can talk for an hours. We've been talking for an hour and a half now. We are very, in line. I can see you're a true leader with a heart, but we'll have to wrap this up for today. Maybe we can do a part two in a few months. So for people that want to connect with you and reach out to you, what's the best way to reach you?
Well, they can either follow me on my Facebook, or they can email me. I can
What's your email?
Johan at johansnoek.com.
Okay.
It's probably, yeah. They
I'll
might not know how to pronounce it.
That's fine. I'll find it. I'll find it for you. I'll put it in the show notes. All
Mm-hmm.
right. Listen, it's been an honor and a pleasure connecting with you. You're an awesome
Mm-hmm.
guy. You're doing great things. I love the
Likewise.
fact that you're thank you. I love the fact that you're building businesses to help the needy, especially in Africa, with clean water and food. That's absolutely amazing. That alone will take you very far in your business, as I shared with you before going live. When you build your business, not around making money, but around impact, the money is going to take care of itself automatically. So
Mm-hmm.
just like I'm sure you heard the saying that if you want to have what you if you want to have what you're looking for, help other people get what they want, and if you do that, then you will get what you want. So it's all about serving
Mm-hmm.
service. So you're on the right track. Keep doing that. Stay safe. God bless, my friend, and we'll definitely keep in touch. Thank you very much. Take care. Bye bye.
Definitely. Thank you. Bye.
Cheers. Bye bye.